Welcome to this special episode, a very special episode of Boys Love. This episode, we are recapping 2024's Korean BL Bump Up Business, bitch. As always, I'm Adam.
And I'm RJ. Welcome. We are doing this coming off the heels,
right on the heels
of our previous Beloved of the Month, where we featured onlyoneof. You can watch all of our reactions here.
And genuinely, I think you should check out the discography because it's pretty good.
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah,
they're in my
had a great
playlist.
time. Had a great time.
We had such a great time that Adam said, "You know what? This is a K-pop group who literally made a BL. Why the fuck aren't we watching it?"
Right, and I want to specify. So, like, there are many groups that have a member or two that were in a BL, right?
Everyone,
all the members of this group,
members are involved in the BL.
We're in this BL, playing all the roles that are boys.
Yeah.
So we felt that it was our obligation as
a BL
as stewards
K-pop.
of BL culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are.
Talking about
now,
it.
Adam, can you give me a quick summary? What's the log line of Bump Up Business?
Okay, so a rookie idol and a veteran idol are paired together in a new K-pop duo group called Lionheart, and the concept behind their group is that they are supposed to queer bait. That's genuinely
business gay concept,
right, which is queer baiting.
Which is
I'm
commercializing, capitalizing.
No, that is what queer baiting is.
Yeah.
Queer baiting is marketing. We've talked about it before. Queer baiting is marketing that is specifically trying to lure in maybe the hint of something
the illusion
queer,
of a queer, but not
but it
actually
will never be acted
accepting.
upon.
Yes.
Okay.
Not actually saying this is queer.
That's the show.
Yeah.
That's the point of the show. And then they fall in love.
And they end up falling in love by being put in the situation where they have to pretend to fall in love.
Yeah.
Classic romance trope. Classic rom-com, I would say.
This is
like
your classic
love and contract type situation.
Yeah, love contract. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is just another version of that.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
And who's who?
Okay, so in the group, onlyoneof, there are 6 members. I will go through in terms of principal order. Okay. So Jiyoon is the veteran idol. He is played by the youngest member of this group. His name is 9.
Who is the leader of
Who is
onlyoneof?
also the current leader of the group. Eden, which is the ingenue, but also the rookie idol. His name is he's played by Mill. His character name is Eden. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Hyunbin, who is Jihoon's ex-lover and also villain of the show.
Group. They were a group. They
were
a
in
duo
a group
together.
Yeah. Was it a duo? Was that specified that it was a duo?
They showed one clip and it was just the two of them performing.
Oh, okay.
And there was a scandal.
A scandalo.
That forced the group to end.
Correct. That is this character is played by KB or Cuban. Jay, who's an American.
Yeah.
Obviously, gets to speak a ton of English, which is fun. He is a old childhood friend of Eden's, and this is played by Yoo Jung. And then we have Woo-sung and Donghyun, who are just fellow trainees with Eden, and they are played by Junji and Rie, respectively.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your classic. That's your case of 6. I forgot to write down the.
The two women, the only two women in the show. My God,
I just needed to click the next page. That's why. They are not even. Girl, they are not even listed on my drama list. Do you remember the names of the characters?
CEO Nim
and manager
Nim.
Great.
They did a really good job. I want to shout. We don't have their names in English.
Cannot believe they're not on that. They're the only two other speaking characters on the show.
They're not on my.
They fully have more lines than Junji and Rie.
Absolutely. They really not. I mean, well,
Combined.
if we start there, they really knock it out of the park. They do the role. They do what they're supposed to do. CEO was like excited about the concept, wants them to do it, wants them to go all out. But then when faced with like, it's not even controversy, but like when faced with a reason to put an end to it.
When faced with capitalism. Because the offer is that maybe Eden can get more money by being an actor.
Being an actor.
Yeah.
Being in a BL. And then the manager Nim is really, really great. A great Bob.
Great character
Bob.
performance.
Great character role. Absolutely.
Role, for sure.
I thought it was you and a Bob, honestly, at first.
It was me and a Bob. Oh, I was in this. I'm so sorry. Did I not tell you? Do you know while we were in Korea...
You filmed Bumpa Business real quick? I filmed
Bumpa Business just really quick. It was like before you would wake up, I would just like head down, to the Han River, to all those places we need not mention.
Yeah, so many places.
Yeah.
So many locations. All 3 locations that they've shot in this BL in.
Let's talk about this BL.
Yes.
Let's talk about... I have a few things I want to touch on. We already talked about how the theme is queer baiting.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
I thought it was very smart for onlyoneof to be like, look.
Lean in.
Let's lean in. People say this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Why don't we lean in and like almost be meta about it, right? And do a show about a company doing this with their idols.
Yeah. It's based on a manhwa. Of the same name, I believe. So we've got that. We've got source material we're hearkening back to.
Yeah.
This is not just they came up with this on the spot and wrote it down. The perception of this show versus the reality of this show.
Okay, let's get right into it.
Because if you were on even if you were tangentially on BL Twitter.
Yeah.
While this was coming out.
I remember seeing it.
There was a lot of hype around it.
I remember
because of the
hype,
gag.
because it's the gag. Yes, it's onlyoneof.
Right.
They did the music videos. They're hot. Yeah, I would obviously. This is a logical step.
This show came out, and people talked about this show like it was one of the worst,
like it was unwatchable
television shows they've ever seen in their lives.
Yeah,
like people should waste of time, like I'll never get those hours back, blah blah blah.
Hours.
Two. I will say heading into it, I was like, we should watch it for the gag. I don't think it's gonna be
bad. Yeah, if it's gonna be bad, then we'll have a good time.
We'll still have a good time. Listen, we've watched bad stuff.
You saw it here.
Recapped.
You saw Love Is Like a Cat, honey.
Love Is Like a Cat, and that was not good.
So that was the level I was expecting.
And while I still had fun watching Love Is Like a Cat, I objectively was
know
like,
that it was not good.
This is like really not good.
Like empty cafe, bad pacing.
No, literally no sense about like language at all.
Yeah. So we knew we've encountered this before. So I was prepared for that and be like, okay, the reaction is just gonna be like kiki kaka, we're having fun.
Sure, that's what I thought too. I had a great time watching this.
A really great
and I did not have. I want to be clear.
I had low expectations.
I did not have an ironic great time where I was like, "This is horrendous.
This is so cringe.
I love it."
Like
I thought this was much better than I anticipated. I went in with very low expectations.
Yes.
To be clear, I would not say go in expecting Citizen Kane because that's not what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But I went in with no expectations, and I was like rewarded with like a very easy breezy show with really nice chemistry, a fun villain turn that we're also obviously gonna have to talk about because it's so iconic.
Yes,
and like
real evil.
nice shots, nice production value,
pretty good production with what it looks like
wasn't expensive, but
still very well shot, very well
look at.
Yeah.
Sounded great.
Yeah.
Great. What's the problem? I watched this and I was like, I kept waiting for something to be like
something
really
bad to happen. Because even when we announced it, like we surprised it, people were like, "Oh, here we go." A lot of people were like, "I avoided it because I heard that it was bad."
Yeah.
So I can't wait to like see this with you guys.
I'm not saying this is like one of the greatest pieces of art ever put to
No.
celluloid.
We're not
First of
watching
all,
Eighth
it's not
Sense.
on celluloid. It was shot on
It's on
digital.
digital, honey.
But
It's no Eighth Sense. It's not. It's not digging deep into something.
no.
But it never wanted
It's
to.
a Hallmark movie. Okay. So and what now? But it's silly to go into like, I would never open a romance novel and be like, well, there's just not simply enough like drama or
Depth.
something like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm getting a beach romance read,
It's gonna
I'm
be
expecting
light.
beach romance read energy,
Yes.
which is like, I'm finishing this in an afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm getting my life. There's a little nice kiss moment or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. I'm not reading,
I
Wuthering
feel like
Heights.
if I was watching this live and I see that it's about idols and the runtime is 20 minutes, I'm
Per
going to be
episode.
like, okay, got it.
Yeah.
It's going to be short, sweet, quick. They're going to hit you with what you want to know real quick.
Yeah.
There's no deep character studies.
There's no intricate plot.
I don't think it has to.
No. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you are.
And then I was like, okay, well, it was that their expectations were high, but then I was like, I
Why
don't know
did we
why
have-
anyone's expectations would be
Yeah.
high watching this,
So
because traditionally the idol BLs
Yeah.
are not the ones that are like, wow,
Yes.
that was incredible.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I think the one that surprised
semantic
us...
error is the
Semantic error, that's
outlier.
the thing. Because semantic error is there. And honestly, I think because Love for Love's Sake was there, that it's like
yeah.
there. But then I feel like you see what those shows are about and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to have some depth to it.
Well,
Because even like Unintentional Love Story,
Uh-huh.
which like had Gongchan in it. So
Mhm.
like, okay, idol drama.
right. I think
Yeah,
Intentional Love
yeah,
Story is a little slow.
Yeah.
I think that's probably its biggest downfall.
Like in the middle there, like
Yeah.
there's like,
Mhm.
yeah.
But like this, not slow.
Not slow.
Not slow. No, not too fast. But just right.
I think
For-
right at the
for
end.
the
I think.
amount
For the
of,
amount
like,
what you're
getting?
Yeah.
Where I have not,
The
there
first
are
episode,
Thai BLs that have basically the same amount of plot as this, and there are like 12 episodes, and each
40
episode is an
minutes.
hour,
Yeah.
and it's just so
Just
that they
the
can
same-
just stare at each other.
Yeah.
We
that's
don't need
true.
to stare. We can stare while we talk. We can
We can
do both
do
at
it at the same
I
time.
can walk and chew gum. It's incredible. It's called multitasking. I'm not trying to advocate that this is like, I'm very aware of what this is.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of
I just
room
think the
for,
reaction was just very,
yeah.
very. The outcries were like, I feel like does not match what we ended up.
And that's
getting.
like, I think the hard part about social media too is like,
That's true.
Once
Once one
it
take is
gets-
out there,
Mhm,
it
and
just
everyone
carries.
has decided that take. I'm truly
just
curious
carries.
how many people were on that take train and still
then-
had never watched it.
But still hadn't watched it, and then
And we're just starting to be like, oh yeah, Bump Up
oh
Business
yeah, Bump
is
Up Business is
terrible.
bad. Like, and then watching it now and being like, oh, this is fine. This is It's exactly what I.
fine.
It's fine. It's exactly
It's
what I thought it was going to
fine.
be. Yeah. It's
It is
really
actually,
interesting,
it's like a really great
Short-
afternoon, like
Yes.
Sunday afternoon BL.
yeah. Quick BL to binge all through in a
100%.
weekend. Absolutely.
It's a lazy Sunday of nothing to do.
You're folding laundry. And
Well, I don't know, because you got to read the cap. If you speak Korean,
if you
great.
speak Korean, yeah, absolutely.
Slay. Fold the laundry.
Yeah.
If you need to focus, then you have to focus. But there is nothing offensive about this.
There's nothing offensive about it. And
I think
yeah.
that's the level
That's
of like anger that people, not anger necessarily, but like the level of like
the reaction.
about it.
Talking
I was
about
like,
it, yeah.
Oh, this is something. It's like bad. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they do a bad job.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's.
No one's...
I would say from the main four.
For the main four.
there is not a bad performance.
There's really not much that
Junji and Rie have nothing to do. And are they our greatest act? Are they the next Meryl? No.
No.
I don't think so.
But it was not
Maybe.
expected from them, and that's okay.
Right. They came in for the first episode. That's
Yeah.
probably honestly the cringiest is that first scene with them
Yes,
because they're
'cause
like
they're just
it's
like,
so like
Whoa, Sunbae.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
And like,
and then you don't see them again until the end of the show.
just to be like, hey, have you guys seen Eden?
Yeah. And they're like, no.
No. Here's what I'll say about Bump Up Business, okay? They hit a lot of the stations. of the BL Cross. The BL stations of the
stations have
cross
been
were
hit.
visited, honey.
Yeah.
They went to the water.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They had they went.
A second station has been hit.
Oh my
Sorry.
God,
Sorry.
Adam.
Sorry.
A wiping of the mouth, a tending of the wound,
Taking care of the
taking
drunk.
care of the drunk.
Yeah.
That
All
was
of
a big
them.
one. Yeah.
All of them.
I really like that one actually. The kid.
Sure.
But then like specifically KBL, so it's like glamping.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big glamp in KBLs.
Big glamp.
Big glamp. I do feel like
But when I say big glamp, I mean like big pharma, like big glamp, like the industry of glamp.
of glamping,
Mhm.
because it's like it's a Winnebago, or it's like
Yeah.
what are those roadster suites, whatever they're
Oh,
called?
Spindrift?
Schwinn.
No, that's a
Nope.
bike. Slipstream?
It's almost there. Airstream.
Airstream?
Airstream?
Airstream. I think that's right.
I think it's Airstream.
It's something stream.
Yeah, I think it's Airstream.
I think it's Airstream.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was doing a lot of crossover from K-pop Stations of the Cross because of the gig. So they were doing water sports. Not that one.
Jesus, God in heaven. Thank you. Yes.
I will say that
there's like challenges.
challenges.
There's like
Yeah.
where there's conversation about hitting a certain view count.
Yes,
There's
yes,
talk
yes,
about
yes.
the debutation. They want to show like if you both like BL and K-pop, which is obviously the channel.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, it's hitting
Because
all
you're
the
hitting,
quadrants
yes,
for
because
me.
they're being meta about like the stuff that they do as a K-pop company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. If you came here and you were like, I can't
wait for
they're
them to
gonna
tear this apart.
Drag the girls. It's simply
We
not.
had a
gonna
good
happen.
time.
I had a good time. So you might want to click out now because you're just gonna be annoyed that we don't say anything bad about it. I mean,
I will. Okay.
Well,
there are some
okay.
stuff that- no, hold on. No, Miss. No,
Miss
wait a minute,
Mamas.
Miss Mamas. No, wait a minute, Miss Mamas. There are some stuff that I like, kind of like fall through the cracks. So okay, so
Yeah.
I just talked about the water sports. There's this like massive plot hole that they're like, Eden is so terrified of water.
Yes.
And like they do this challenge where if their music video hits like a certain amount of like views, I think like 3 million or whatever in the first 24 hours or something.
It's not
for
even a music
teaser,
video.
for the
It's a teaser. Yeah.
Then he's going to.
It's 5 million, I believe.
Then he's
which
going
is
to like
insane for a duo K-pop group.
They're gonna do like a water sport challenge to face his fear.
Yeah, because
And
he's
so
scared of.
I thought it was like, oh, this is gonna be like a big thing. Like this is the first time that we're gonna see.
He's gonna have to get saved in the water.
Saved
or
by
something like that.
June.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. They
No.
like do it off site. They like show it that
They
they're
show
there.
a 14-second
Second
montage,
montage of them like kikiing and laughing,
which is insane because they still had to book.
They still have to book
the venue to shoot that.
to shoot.
And
so
then,
they had all of that shooting.
and then they were just like, meh.
And then afterwards,
needs
it was
it?
just them coming out and be like, "Wow, Hyung, I
That was so
faced my
fun.
fear."
Crazy. They had no idea.
That's what I mean. They're just
But then,
moving along.
you know what I realized is that it's actually set up for the plane. Because the reason Jiyoon agrees to do the plane instead of the ferry over to Jeju, or
Is-
the island, they don't go
yes,
to Jeju.
they go
so
to
it's-
Jeju. Don't
I think it's
they
like a
make
made-up
up they
island.
made up a Jeju island.
Is because Eden is scared of
Eden is scared of flying.
Eden is scared of boats, and so Jihoon agrees to fly, even though he's more scared of flying.
Flying.
Because he's so selfless and he loves him so much.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers. Also, this is the biggest plane for a 45-minute
Okay, so
flight
there
I've
were
ever
girlies
seen.
that were like, "I don't know, girls. I fly Emirates, and planes are that big." They didn't say Emirates, but someone on
That's
Patreon
the energy.
That was like,
Someone on our Patreon is flying Emirates. And just so you know, if you're flying Emirates and you're on our Patreon, you can go ahead and you can change. You can actually up the amount you give us. Like,
yes.
you can decide to give
you
us
don't have
30 or
to
whatever.
pay us the 10. You can actually add
You
more.
can make your own number. if
Make
you
your
want.
make your own number. Make an Emirates number. But the plane is so wide that it reminded me of like
Emirates is fancy, right?
yeah. But it's funny. I was listening to a podcast today, and they played a premium economy ad for Emirates.
Well, premium economy is a new thing.
But for Emirates, why is Emirates struggling to get premium economy tickets?
What are you talking about?
They played an ad like, book your next flight make sure you fly Emirates.
That's not struggling to get tickets.
But why are they running ads to?
Because they want people to fly Emirates. What are you talking about?
But like, does Emirates fly that many places, or they're just like when booking your next trip?
Well, girl, everybody's
overseas,
going to Dubai. Every single person on earth is flying to Dubai to get the fucking pistachio chocolate that I'm so sick of seeing. It does not look appetizing. I'm sure it's delicious.
Yeah.
It looks like moss in your chocolate.
Yeah. So that was a big plot hole.
It wasn't even that it was like a hole. It was just like
it's funny they bring it up.
It just doesn't go anywhere.
And then it doesn't go anywhere. But like that's
we like divert down. It's like this show is like you're
throwing a lot of path.
Yeah. And then you like meander off for a little bit, and then you're like, oh, it was the path that ended. We have to go back to the main
But
path.
it doesn't like
that's what happens.
It's not like it's taking the whole episode. It's like within the next 10 minutes of the episode,
and also
5
even
minutes.
If it did, guys, the episodes are 20 minutes. What are we talking about?
So it's like no foul, no gain.
Right.
One big thing that I did not like. I really didn't like the ending. I'm gonna be honest. I like that they make a fake kiss. They do kiss in the show early in the show.
In the first half of the show.
Yeah, in the first half of the show.
When they're drunk.
Yeah. They do a kind of like a lean-in fake kiss to end, but then it ends with them performing at like show music core.
Sure.
Their title track.
Show champion.
Yeah, show champion with like 5 people in the audience.
Yeah, big crowds. It was COVID. That's what we're saying.
That's true. That's true. But then during the performance is when they show the credits, and then at the end of the performance, like a YouTube video of watching a performance, it just ends. And I was like, it's very weird. I needed a button. I needed something.
Yeah, nobody wants to end anything. No one wants to end anything anymore.
Yeah. It seems like
maybe if you knew how to end things, then you would end them, but you don't.
So don't talk to me like you know what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like no one wants to make buttons. No one wants to complete an ending.
Correct.
What is that about?
I don't know. When I watch a narrative thing that has no ending, it feels like an SNL sketch.
Yes.
Because that is SNL's
cut for time.
Biggest downfall. That they never know how to end their sketches.
Yeah.
There are so few sketches on SNL that actually like complete the full birth, life, death of the idea.
Yeah.
Half the time it's just like, and then we just end on a joke.
Yeah.
And it's not like the best joke. It's just
but it's like it's enough to end it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to swap it in as soon as we're cut for time.
Yep.
Yeah, so that bothered me. What were the other challenges?
I was surprised because they had already kissed that they didn't kiss
again. They didn't kiss again.
I was surprised by that.
Me too.
It didn't need to be like more. It could have been the exact same amount.
It could have been the exact same kiss.
Yeah. I was just surprised.
Crazy they do it in the middle of the hallways of like Inkigayo. So like we did this bit that was like, Ed Mix is in the corner being like, is that Lionheart Sambenim kissing in the middle of the hallway?
In the middle of the hallway. Iconic. Also, this is a KBL where like gay. It's weird because like
gay does exist because they're using it as a
marketing tool.
Yeah,
but it's also not a problem.
Yes,
because everyone's like very aware that everyone was dating each other.
Yes, it's very clear that
there's no. Because this is the conversation happening behind closed doors. It's like, do not say you're gay.
Do not say you're gay.
Don't come out. And blah, 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 right? So don't point at it. We all know.
A lot of faces right behind you. A lot of them. And I'll name them.
Can you push your thing down?
Is it still up?
Yes.
If it's up, then it's stuck.
Gross. So this is just we're in a world. Everyone's gay. It's great.
In a world
where
9 is gay.
in a world where 9 and Mill are gay. But they don't know they're... Well, Mill doesn't know he's...
Mill doesn't know.
I should say Eden. Yeah. Eden doesn't know he's gay.
Eden just knows that he loves Ji-hoon Sambae-nim. Hyung. The Calling of the Hyung. And The Calling of the Hyung was really huge. Good here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
The Calling of the Hyung was really good here.
I have to talk about this KB performance, this Cuban performance. This villain turn.
Shall we say early MVP candidate for the end of this recap?
100%. I genuinely was like, when he came on, first of all, his hair is so good.
Yes.
This is his, like, I'm the host of the variety content.
Yes.
Hair. Parted.
I mean, this is chaebol hair. This is like K-drama, second...
K-drama villain hair.
K-drama villain hair, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Taekhyun.
I think he's so good in this.
And he goes in for it.
He leans into it.
He is not afraid to look goofy.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
The role is not
like,
goofy, but he's willing to be like,
He's willing to be a villain. Yes. Which I think, like, I guess I was like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna
want to.
Yeah,
because it's like your image. But I think though there's something about, like, I mean, I just said Taekhyun there's something appealing about being an idol and playing a character that you know is nothing like you or even the persona that you are.
Yeah.
That like you can like really sink your teeth into and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I think K-pop idols love playing villains because it's like, great, I'll lean in on like my anger.
All the impulses I do not ever get to
make. Yeah, absolutely.
I think him and 9 and Mill
are like the top.
They're really top. Good in the show.
They're really good.
I think 9 is doing this in crazy, like, classic K-drama lead, like, kind of cold, like, boyfriend energy.
He, like, drops his voice.
It's
so funny because it's not like it. That's not 9 at all.
No, and the funniest part is that the, like, joke is that he's the oldest.
He's the oldest, yeah.
And, like, he's not.
But he's so goofy in real life, so it's kind of fun to see him in this role and, like,
Chicago.
and kind of, like, nailing it of, like, yeah, I believe that you are this, like, debonair and, like, broody.
He looks great in this.
He
looks great.
That little nocturnal emission, honey. Remember Mill's dream?
Yeah.
Eden's dream where it's like, oh, Sambae-nim, why are you dressed like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that body is banging, bro.
I also thought Mill was really good in this too. And as someone who, like, always my favorite character is like
Meg Ryan.
The Meg Ryan, the ingenue, the like bright-eyed, naive kind of energy.
He runs with it. He is bright-eyed in this entire show.
I don't know if there's many shots where he does not smile.
It's so cute.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really
in this.
adorable in it.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
I came out of the show and I was like, oh, I think he's my bias. Because I was so charmed by him.
Yes, this was your conundrum because in only one of it was like Brie may be your bias, but this was the show experience with watching all the music videos was affecting you and like
I was being pulled in many directions.
Yes, yeah, between Mill and Rie,
yeah. That's all I really. Do you want to talk about the Evergreen, the song that they sing over and over and over?
I
think
liked
it's good.
It's catchy.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know
if it's a song that would win their first like post debut award. Like,
but listen, if they're doing that choreo, they're getting real close. I get it. Here's the thing: the business gay concept does sell. I'm not gonna. I hate it. I hate to tell you, girls.
I am curious. Well, okay, so it's. This is what I am curious about because
trying to bump up.
I do for sure think that there are these conversations are happening.
Absolutely.
Where there's like I'm not gonna go so far as to say like they're saying like
they
make out with someone on stream.
Yeah.
But they're like, don't be afraid to like have good chemistry with your fellow members.
That's how they think it. They're like I think I can see in a meeting being like, hey, these are whose chemistries really test well in surveys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I do think to some degree this is happening.
Yeah.
So I kind of do think it's like kind of irreverent for them to like do a BL about it.
Yeah.
I just like, yeah. I don't have anything like, I don't have a hot take on the show because I think this show is like, I don't really even want to say mid because that makes it sound like it wasn't worth watching either.
Yeah,
because,
no.
Like, I think this
it's
is
an
like
option for people to watch.
Yeah.
I think you can still have an appreciation or want to watch something that maybe a lot of people didn't like or like is criticized as not good because there's still a level of joy that it brings you of some kind.
I think everything in moderation, right? Like I think I think we can go too far into the don't yuck anybody's yum and then like criticism shouldn't exist at all, which is like, very silly.
Very silly, yes.
But then also like you can over criticize like you have to meet the art where the art is making.
Yes, exactly.
So like this isn't trying to be anything more than what it is.
What it is, yeah.
So I'm not going to critique it on a level of like, does it compare to Itze? It's not trying to be Itze in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So why would I sit there and be like, well, it's not doing this beautiful color story and like tracking this beautiful like progression of a love at these two people's time. No, it's not trying to do that. So what is it trying to do, and does it exceed, or does it at least do that?
And what is this show trying to do? Give a BL experience starring only one of. I feel like that's what it is.
I feel like that's what it is. I mean, like, narratively, I think the show is just trying to be, like, a perfectly pleasant little...
just a tidy...
Very tidy.
Tidy.
Yeah.
My bias is 9, so I do love him, but I do think I was completely... I loved this KB performance. This villain is so...
girl.
You get to sink your teeth into it. It was so confusing because I didn't really know his intention sometimes because, like, it's because he still wants to be with him.
I even think this storyline isn't, like, super clear.
No.
Right? Like, there's a scandal.
There's a scandal that he filmed him making
with this girl.
So he was the one who caused the scandal that broke them up. But, like, why
and then
did
people
he
were
wanna
saying
do
on the
that?
Patreon, like, it's because, like, if he couldn't have him, no one could have him. But then, like, I feel like you just blew up your own career.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was like,
also, I don't know. I didn't care. I just like, sure, I had questions. Like, I'm not saying like I watched the show and I was like, oh, it's all.
It doesn't matter.
Clear.
I don't care.
It's not
like,
perfectly clear.
No, yeah, I'm like, oh, that's weird.
But it doesn't matter because you just know it's like, what am I getting to get the two of them finally together?
Yeah.
And so you're just like, will that journey make sense?
Yeah.
And I think that does. It's just all these obstacles in the way.
Yeah.
Like since we've been doing since millennia.
Literally.
So
cavemen were performing BLs.
Don't do this. Don't make fun
in
of me.
A cave. So I think Cuban for sure, and his like literal comic villain performance, which is like, there's a moment where he went,
oh yeah.
It's like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give a shout out MVP to the locations because they utilized this one bar in literally every angle that they could film this bar in
to make it not look like the same place each time.
Same bar, because it was the bar that like. It was a bar in a flashback. It was a bar where they got drunken. It was a bar where they had like the party. It was a bar. It was the hotel bar.
Yeah.
Like, but I knew because in some shots I could see the same painting or like picture in the back that they would just like dress up every now and then. And then they just filmed in their own rehearsal space in their own music studios.
Bro.
I was like, you already have location.
It's a show shot. It's a show made by K-pop people
in their own K-pop office.
Right. Like, use what you got.
Use what you got. I was like, that's so smart.
Yeah. It would be silly if they had rented somewhere else to film.
So yeah, my MVP is
location scouting.
Because they were like, wait, but what if we angle this lobby this way, and that's where you shoot your TikTok challenge?
Yeah.
Did you? I saw today that the Inkigayo staircase is so busy now during show days.
The one with the thing where they get in,
where people
I think that's Music Bank.
Oh, Music Bank.
Because I think
Because
Inkigayo is the red wall.
It's so busy now of people filming TikTok challenges during show days. Is that there's now like a PA
sign up?
There's a sign up now where you have to like check in a time.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? All because of Zico doing a dance challenge like during the pandemic, and now
That's nuts.
it's like required for marketing.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's wild. I'm gonna give mine to Mill.
To Mel, yeah.
I
knew you were
know.
gonna do it.
I
He's-
should just give it to both of them because I do think they have really
They
nice
have really
chemistry.
and that's the thing too. Their chemistry is already built in.
Yeah. Well, that's like also like if you're not aware of their storyline, like they're the couple.
They're a couple, yeah.
In the only one of kind of
Lore-ish,
universe,
yeah.
whatever. So it was like nice for them to do. I mean, like it's.
Yeah.
I think this Mill performance is very good. I thought he was very sweet. I just like this type of character.
Totally.
So it worked for me really well. So
I will say it's one of my favorite like BL
I think
ingenue
the height
roles.
difference is good.
Yeah, totally. It's one of my favorite BL ingenues. It's up there with Sabin in Roommates a little bit.
Oh,
Sabin
and Roommates though, we forget he's pretty sassy in that.
He's sassy.
He's super sassy
because he's
in
like defensive of like
Yeah.
because he
owns
the thing, and he has an unrequited love of someone that's scamming him, which I
Yes.
always forget is his side plot.
Yes.
But because of that, he's like, you don't understand my life. I'm trying to do this.
This actually does feel a lot like Roommates. Now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it. It's not a 1-to-1 obviously, but kind of the like machinations are very similar.
Because we haven't rewatched Roommates since we first saw it.
I watched parts of it when Dabbit watched.
Oh, okay. But I feel like if we watch it again, like even in the clips that I remember, I feel like the production quality is like similar.
Yeah.
Like the way it's shot.
Web series.
Yes, web series. It's not. There's not a lot of sheen.
No. It's not like
It's
unintentional
not like
love story.
unintentional. Yeah, where it's like,
looks
this
like
is
a
a K-drama.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
did not talk about Yoojung a lot.
We did not talk about Yoojung a
Yoojung
lot.
does have a funny role. He's supposed to be like the love rival for Mill, because they're supposed to be the ones that like
Eden, yeah.
fell in love, or like a childhood crush.
But
now it's like,
childhood
oh, now I'm
sweethearts.
actually thinking about you. But it's crazy. We didn't even talk about this. Eden fell in love with Yoo Jung's character Jay when they were kids because Jay was so femme.
Well,
was
Jay
like-
had long hair.
Jay had long hair, and so Eden thought as kids that he was a girl,
Yeah.
and so he was like, "I have a crush on you," and Jay as a child was like, "I'm a boy.
Yeah.
I just have gorgeous hair.
I just have these gorgeous locks that my mother refuses to cut.
yeah,
Yeah.
and good for her." Jay's dad owns like a drama company.
He's like a conglomerate. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they're casting Eden as a lead of a drama.
That he made the music for.
That
or
he
something
made the
like
music
that?
for because Jay's like a music prodigy or whatever. But anyway, they reunite. So for the last couple of episodes, it's like he's a rival. But there's this really sweet scene where Eden tells Jay of like why he loves his Jihyun so much.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And it's very sweet, and like Jay kind of relinquishes.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want you to be happy, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the BL tier list, Adam.
Oh, so on the bottom we have what are Twice fans called once. I ain't reading all that.
Complicated
Fave.
Keeping
in
syndication.
syndication, or I wish I could scrub my memory so I could rewatch it again.
Okay, listen to me.
Are you gonna say syndication?
This is a show that would be in syndication. They would ABC Family would play, Freeform would play this on an
Sure.
afternoon on a weekend.
I'm genuinely trying to be like, would I watch it again?
I would watch it again as it played, like you said, if it was just like playing on TV. Like, you know how our friend will still turn on like cable and like, oh, this movie is on. Let me just play it while I'm doing stuff.
I would probably say it's a complicated fave.
Mm.
That's probably the tier that I feel like it should be in, because it's not a show that I would be like, oh my god, I'm so in the. There's
don't
not
care.
any
There's-
specific moments of the show where I'm like, oh, I have to
I
watch
have to watch
that
that
scene
again.
again.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just overall like good enough that if I was like flipping through and like, or let's say like I was watching with someone who was an Only One of fan and like had never seen it or something like that, then I would be like, oh my gosh, I would watch this with you.
Yeah.
But like I would not necessarily like seek it out
to rewatch.
To like rewatch it.
Okay.
But I also wouldn't turn it off if it was like on. Like if it was flipping through cable.
So I guess that makes it complicated.
Yeah. Well, usually I feel like we don't really have a ton in this tier, but I feel like it's because kind of the ones we cover for the channel are kind of just everybody forces us to watch the good ones.
Yeah.
So we don't really get stuff like this, but like complicated fave, I don't know. I feel like
well, like when we watched
like Kissable Lips, I would put in complicated fave.
Yes.
Cuz like
you have to buy in like
it's not well
it's
done.
well done.
Or
the writing is not very good.
And it's way too short for the amount of like
lore
we're not
that they
do a
give
Kissable
you.
Lips episode,
Yes,
but
yeah.
like the amount of lore, the amount of world building they have to do, and they have no time to do it
Yes.
to establish like the weird rules of this vampire
Yes.
situation. So like, but I like them as a couple.
Yeah.
I like Ji-young and Sobin.
So it's complicated
and
because
and I like those.
you're
moments
invested
of
in the
that show.
chemistry rather than
Yeah, but again, with that show, probably I think the strongest scene in Kissable Lips is like the death.
the last
And like
couple
Sobin's
scenes.
like
yeah.
kind of like reaction. Like I
Yeah,
think he
totally.
does that scene really well. But it's not a scene I would be like, oh, I gotta watch this again. Like it's very sad.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like the level of like complicated fave. Complicated fave is just like our kind of catch-all for being like,
Catch up being like
it was
it's
not
not
bad.
but it's not great.
yeah.
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 Yeah, I would say I put it on there. I guess you're right. There isn't like something that like, because when I think of like great syndicated faves, like The Nanny, it's like I want to see something again.
Well, because like we have like Cherry Magic in syndication.
Yeah.
Because I would just put that on.
Yeah.
I would put that on and I would be like, oh, you've never seen a BL. Here's a good example of like what a BL
Yes.
can do. I don't know if I would show this to people that
I
are
would
familiar
not.
with the
That I'm
genre
familiar
of BL.
with only one of, or the genre. That's
Mhm.
true. That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
It's for the straights.
It is for the straights.
Period.
Yeah. I will say I do I appreciate that they are talking about the what is that? Commodification, is that the right word? Making gay content a commodity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The businessification.
Mhm. The bumping up of the
bumping
business.
up of the yes.
If you really think about it. Yeah.
Of like queer media, gay content,
Mm-hmm.
portrayal of gay characters. So I think that's interesting. It doesn't go too deep into it.
No.
It's just like a
It's
setting.
just very surface level. Yeah,
It's
it's
very-
just table setting.
Table setting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's still a lot. It's not all the way for the straights, but it's not.
It's pretty far.
It's pretty far. I wouldn't say this is the control of for the straights.
No. I have no idea what that would even be. I don't think it would be that. I think that to me, something that would be like for the straights is like the most. They're the same sex couple, but it's the most like classic gender almost
drama.
like all. You know what is a really good
Personal
example?
Element, right? No.
Is Cherry Blossoms After Winter.
Oh yes,
That is like
because if you just swap that for a boy and a girl,
But
yeah.
I do think just like on terms of like that couple is the most like that's a boy and a girl.
That's a boy. Yeah,
they've just made the
made
same
it two
sex.
boys. Yeah,
But I will say that show isn't
But
necessarily
that is a
control either
complication,
because I
yes.
do think like that show is also does have a conversation
That's
about like
true. It
being
does
gay
have-
and
yes,
like the
that's
mom is like
true.
upset about it.
the
and,
first half of Cherry Blossoms After Winter, the high school half of Cherry Blossoms After Winter.
Yeah. Well, I think also Cherry Blossoms After Winter is a very complicated fave.
Yes, that's very
It's
complicated.
a very complicated fave. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely in that.
But
quadrant.
something like that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, that's a heteronormative couple.
Yeah.
That is homosexual.
And plot versus character,
I don't
It's
know.
right in the middle.
There needs to be a third
'Cause
axis, honestly.
because it's not being pulled to either directions. I don't.
No,
think.
it's just right in the middle.
It's just
It's
right
definitely
in the
not
middle.
plot, but it's for sure,
Sure,
not
not
character.
character.
So it's just kind of, it's just there.
It's just there.
because like Mill, I think Eden is technically the protagonist, but I wouldn't even really say he has like a realization he loves June, but it's not like he has like a change. He just like
There's not a change.
He just
in it.
realizes that about himself.
Yes, yeah.
He doesn't like have a change of character. or
Yes,
anything
yeah,
like
that's
that.
true.
So
Yeah, it's just him realizing that, like, oh, I like him. I love him.
I like him.
Yeah,
I love him. He does say this is actually
they say love.
This is a KBL where they say sarange.
Yeah,
and not just
not
like choyo. Yeah, which I do think is very rare.
Okay, wait, hold on. Now that I'm thinking about it, there is a scene that I would like to rewatch, and it
Which
is
one?
in the beach scene where he realizes that he loves him, so
Oh.
he runs out farther away from him.
Oh.
and then, like shouts it out. Basically,
That scene
like,
is
I love you, Hyun.
That's probably the best scene in the show for sure.
And because even Jiun is like, "What'd you say?"
yeah,
And he just kind of like smiles to himself.
yeah. I'm saying Mill really sells the fuck out of that scene. Yeah.
Okay, so this was a fun little thing because technically this filled our beloved of the month requirement to check out something variety outside of the music videos.
Some bonus content.
So the beret level, the K-pop level, got to enjoy this BL.
Yes.
This was our way to introduce them to BL and be like, hey,
Yeah.
check it out.
Hey, check out BL.
Check out BL maybe. But if you love BL, we've got the Bo level and the Bob level over at
Raise
our Patreon.
bows and bobs.
Raise bows and bobs, honey, at the Patreon.
Patreon.com/boyslove.
Mm-hmm. At the Bo level, you get to watch our reactions to the 2 YouTube shows that we're recapping. Currently, it is Not Me and Kingdom Legendary War that's ending. Which
Soon.
means you will also get to vote what the next show will be.
At the bow level.
At the Bo level. And then if you're flying Emirates, you can join the Bob level where you get a show all for yourself. Just the Bobs. That we will recap here on YouTube once it's all over. And right now we're watching Kin Porsche. And you don't want to miss that.
And
if you
we
love
are
BL,
not doing recaps on this YouTube channel.
We're not recapping.
We'll
Kin
do a
Porsche.
final recap
We'll
at
do
the
one
end.
final recap when the show is over. But that
Somebody
is
asked today, are you doing recaps?
recaps for Kin Porsche.
And somebody else replied and said, no, it's just reactions on their Patreon. Patreon only.
Patreon only.
That's my thoughts on that show cannot be
out in
No,
public.
no. That needs to be
That
blocked
needs to be
behind
locked
the
behind a paywall.
Mhm.
Flying Emirates, honey.
For sure.
That is, we're not letting that go, honey.
No.
Because that
No.
that would end our business gate concept.
Right. It would.
That would bump down business, honey.
I think Kin Porsche will turn me gay.
Oh, really?
I think it might.
Wow. Good luck. Good luck, girl. So join us on Patreon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us for Bump Up This.